All right, let's get right into it. You know how we're always told that to get things done, we need to find more motivation or build more willpower? Well, what if the secret to unbreakable discipline isn't about trying harder at all? What if it's about fundamentally shifting who you believe you are?
And boom, there it is. This one idea completely reframes the entire problem. The argument here is that we're all fighting the wrong battle. We blame our lack of motivation, but the real issue, the one that's actually holding us back, is a conflict with our own identity.
So, to really get the solution, we first have to break down the problem. And that means we need to talk about something we've all been taught to rely on: good old willpower. I mean, really think about it. Every time you've tried to use sheer grit to force yourself to go to the gym or eat healthy, how did that usually end? My guess is with exhaustion, maybe some frustration, and there's a really, really good reason for that. This battery analogy is just perfect. Willpower isn't some infinite skill you can just master. No, it's a finite resource. Every decision you make, every temptation you say no to, it drains that battery a little bit. And by the end of the day, when it's totally empty, you just go back to your default settings, whatever's easiest.
Okay, so if willpower isn't the answer, what are we missing? This brings us to the real kicker, the true heart of the whole problem. This right here is the internal war that sabotages us every time. You simply can't act in a way that contradicts your self-image for very long. It creates this mental friction that's just exhausting to keep up. It's like you're trying to install brand new software on old, completely incompatible hardware. It's just bound to crash. And this really shows you the difference so clearly. On one side, you've got the person thinking, ugh, I have to force myself to work out. That's a constant daily struggle. But then on the other side, you've got someone whose identity is just, I am an active person. For them, working out isn't a chore. It's just who they are. All that friction, it's just gone. So, how do we get there? Well, there's a clear framework for this journey. It's not just an on or off switch. It's more of a progression through 3 very distinct levels. Okay, let's break this down. Level 1, that's motivated action. This is when you're all hyped up. Maybe you just watched a cool video, but, it fades. Level 2 is habitual action, which is definitely better. You've built a routine. But the highest level, the real goal, is identity discipline. This is when the action is so deeply ingrained in who you are that not doing it just feels wrong.
So the most important point is this: we're shifting the focus from the action to the actor. The goal isn't just to check off a list of discipline tasks. The goal is to become the kind of person for whom those tasks are just second nature.
And this leads us to the practical side of this neuro-hack. How do we actually make this shift from just trying to do something to actually becoming someone?
The language you use with yourself matters a lot. Trying automatically implies that you might fail. It feels temporary. But declaring I am, well, that's a statement of fact. A runner runs. It's just what they do. They don't wake up and debate it every morning. They just put on their shoes and go. The decision has already been made.
This ultimate state is called scary discipline. And that name isn't about being harsh on yourself. It's about something much more profound: integrity. It's all about building a reputation with yourself as someone who keeps the promises they make to themselves.
And here's why it's scary. Because real change requires letting go of something. It means the version of you that makes excuses, the version that hits the snooze button, the one that says, I'll do it tomorrow. That version has to go. You are actively choosing to let an old identity die to make room for a new, stronger one. So let's bring all this home. What does it actually look like when you stop seeing discipline as a burden and you start seeing it as an act of creation?
First things first, we have to get this old idea out of our heads. We've basically been conditioned to see discipline as a negative thing, as a restriction on our freedom. But that's the old model. That's not what this is.
Instead, you need to see it as a creative act. Every single time you choose the disciplined action, what you're really doing is casting a vote for the person you want to become. You are literally building your new identity, one choice at a time. Ultimately, this is what it's all about: building that reputation with yourself, proving that you can count on you. That kind of self-respect is so much more powerful and so much more lasting than any fleeting hit of motivation could ever be. And that's really the question this whole thing leaves us with. It's not about what you're going to do. It's about who you are going to be. And that decision, it starts right now.